Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today. We are going to shine a light on a fascinating, entirely hidden world that is literally supporting the roof over your head. We're going to explore the hyperlocal geographical factors affecting home infrastructure right here in Mount Washington, Kentucky. Now, you might be thinking plumbing is just, well, pipes and water, but as you'll soon see, it's actually an incredible story about shifting earth, extreme weather, and the relentless forces of nature constantly interacting with the homes we live in.
So, ask yourself, what's secretly destroying your home's pipes? It's a bit unsettling, isn't it? I mean, most of us never give our plumbing a second thought until something goes disastrously wrong. But right now, beneath your floorboards and under your lawn, environmental threats are constantly at work. Okay, let's dive into this and uncover exactly what's happening out of sight.
Here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start by looking at Mount Washington's unique challenges, identify common local failures, walk through a three-step service process, demystify plumbing costs, compare DIY to professional work, and finally wrap up with codes, permits, and prevention.
All right, starting right off with Section 1, Mount Washington's unique challenges.
If you live out in Bullitt County, your home faces some really intense geographical pressures that generic contractors just completely miss. For instance, the local clay soil here expands and contracts dramatically with Kentucky's wet winters and hot summers. That puts immense, constant pressure on underground supply lines and sewer laterals. Add to that the fact that temperatures here regularly drop below 20 degrees several times a winter, which heavily stresses exposed pipes in your crawl spaces. And it's not just the soil and the cold. The water itself is actually a threat. Mount Washington has what we call hard water. Basically, this means it has a high mineral content, primarily calcium and magnesium. And listen, this chemistry is no joke. It actively builds scale inside your water heaters and literally narrows the diameter of your pipes over time. Homes near Hebron Lane and around Mount Washington Elementary are really impacted by this, often seeing premature fixture failures and a huge drop in water heater efficiency, all just because of the local water chemistry.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because historically, this problem has been decades in the making. During that massive construction boom along Highway 44 between the 1970s and the 1990s, the go-to standard material was galvanized steel pipes. Well, the big problem is that these pipes corrode from the inside out. Fast forward to today, as we're approaching 2026, and those original components are hitting the absolute end of their service life. This is exactly why older neighborhoods around Crossroads Boulevard are seeing a massive surge in plumbing failures right now, requiring modern PEX repiping. The clock has simply run out on those old materials.
Moving right along to Section 2, Common Local Plumbing Failures.
So we've talked about the hidden geological and historical factors. Now, what does this actually look like for you? Here are the 4 major local threats you'll see when those factors finally catch up with your system. First up, corroded galvanized pipes. These cause rust-colored water and terrible water pressure. Second, hard water damage. This leaves white, crusty deposits everywhere and absolutely ruins your appliances. Third, we have frozen pipe failures. And fourth, main sewer line blockages, which happen when that expanding clay soil and invasive tree roots literally crush your underground drainage. Just imagine the contrast here for a second. Your house is sleeping peacefully, right? But outside, a brutal winter freeze is quietly bursting a pipe in your crawl space, or that expanding clay is silently cracking your main sewer line. When these elements strike, the peace of a quiet home can turn into a sudden, urgent crisis in a matter of minutes.
Which brings us to Section 3, the three-step service process.
So how in the world do we fix this chaos? Well, we pivot from those hidden, anxiety-inducing problems to the highly structured, methodical solutions provided by the specialized local knowledge of Victory Plumbing Louisville. They use a 3-step methodology that completely removes the guesswork. Step 1 is assessment and diagnosis. They use high-tech camera inspections and pressure testing. No guessing involved, they literally look inside the pipe. Step 2 is professional repair execution, utilizing quality parts calibrated specifically for our local water conditions, while taking care to protect your home's floors. Step 3 is testing and cleanup to verify the fix. And this brilliantly illustrates how professional diagnostics prevent repeat failures. By pinpointing the true root cause with advanced equipment, rather than just slapping a Band-Aid on a symptom, they ensure you aren't paying twice for the exact same problem.
And that brings us to a massively critical number, 24. That represents their 24/7 emergency response capability. Think about it. When a basement pipe bursts and starts flooding your home at 2 a.m. on a Sunday, leaving a message with an answering service or hoping for a callback the next day simply isn't an option. Minutes absolutely matter when water is actively destroying your property. You need a team whose trucks stay fully stocked and ready to dispatch immediately to stop the damage first and then fix the problem permanently.
Let's shift gears to everyone's favorite topic in Section 4, demystifying plumbing costs.
Upfront, honest pricing in the skilled trades really shouldn't be a secret, should it? An average local call-out fee generally begins around $75, and it typically ranges up to $150. Now, why does this fee exist even if you end up not doing the repair? It's important to understand that this fee compensates the professional for their travel time, the massive costs of maintaining a fully stocked service vehicle, and most importantly, their diagnostic expertise. You're paying for a highly trained professional to accurately diagnose a very complex, totally hidden system.
Let's break down the actual numbers you should expect. A simple leaky faucet repair will usually run you somewhere between $150 and $300. Standard drain cleaning sits around $175 to $400. Replacing a water heater jumps up to between $1,200 and $3,500, and that depends heavily on the tank size and the fuel type. And a massive job like a whole home repiping, that ranges from $4,000 up to $15,000. Here's a really fascinating reality check derived from all this data. If you have a $5,000 budget for a bathroom remodel, that is basically only going to cover a cosmetic refresh. We're talking paint, a new vanity, maybe a toilet. Moving major drain or supply lines, that costs thousands of dollars entirely on its own.
Now for Section 5, DIY versus professional.
Seeing those costs naturally brings up a huge homeowner temptation, doesn't it? Trying to fix things yourself to save a few bucks. But when is that actually a smart idea? Let's contrast the two approaches. DIY plumbing is perfectly fine for simple, everyday tasks. Swapping out a faucet aerator or plunging a standard toilet clog, go for it. But the second you get past that, you are risking causing hidden leaks or, even worse, having your insurance company outright deny a massive water damage claim simply because of unpermitted work. Professional plumbing, on the other hand, gives you code-compliant, fully warranted, and insured work using advanced diagnostics. So the crucial point is this. In Mount Washington, where expanding clay soils are constantly shifting your foundation and stressing your pipes, an improper DIY repair will almost certainly lead to disastrous, hidden water damage over time. It's just not worth the risk.
And finally, Section 6, Codes, Permits, and Prevention. Let's dig into the legal frameworks and preventative steps that are necessary to maintain a safe, valuable home under the Kentucky Residential Code. You might actually be surprised to learn what officially requires a permit in Bullitt County. If you are replacing a water heater, doing a whole home repiping, adding a new bathroom fixture location, or doing major main sewer line work, you legally need a permit and an inspection, period. And here's exactly why this matters to you. Correcting unpermitted handyman work during the sale of your home ends up costing significantly more than just doing it right the first time with a licensed contractor. Plus, unpermitted work is a huge, glaring red flag for home buyers and inspectors. Victory Plumbing Louisville operates on a really straightforward core philosophy. Stop the damage fast, fix the problems permanently, improve home comfort. Throughout this entire explainer, we've seen exactly why relying on deep local knowledge, truly understanding the local clay soil, the hard water chemistry, the specific age of the subdivisions, combined with upfront pricing, is absolutely your best defense against a catastrophic infrastructure failure. I absolutely love this quote from them. It says, "We understand the difference between a quick patch job and a lasting repair. No upselling, no scare tactics, just straight answers." I mean, that transparent, honest approach is exactly what makes managing your home's infrastructure so much less stressful. So, I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Are your home's hidden systems truly protected for the next Kentucky freeze? We've explored the shifting soils, the aging galvanized pipes, and the hard water that is totally unique to Mount Washington. Now it is up to you to look around your property, understand what's lurking right under your floorboards, and recognize the incredible value of local professional expertise. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Stay curious and keep learning.